I see a message from a senior manager to another more senior manager saying Mazen is not fit to drive the ice cream business.
Wow.
I felt no, خلاص, my career is done.
So what did you confront it? What did
No,
you
I
do?
did not confront it. We started with a small bike and a big dream. By trial and error, okay, putting a bit more strawberry, a bit more mango, a bit agave, etc. Fast forward 5 years, we are around 90 people working in the company. We operate into 6 different channels, our own shops. We sell to hotels, restaurants, cafes. We do e-commerce. We recently started supermarkets, distribution. We do events and catering, and we deliver to schools as well.
Why did you decide to put all that money into the new business? Why did you invest it? Why did you say, okay, I need another job? So what was the thinking?
Sometimes you might be in really not a great place, and you might think that you are really worth nothing. But then it turned out that that could be an opportunity for something greater.
I saw your pitch on Shark Tank.
جاي اليوم اطرح عليكم فرصة استثمار استثنائية بهاوس اوف بوب. عرضي هو 10 مليون درهم.
We asked for 10 million dirhams for 3% of the company.
My first reaction when I was watching it was, this guy is nuts.
I got offers from 3.
So where are you going next?
So
support for the show comes from Capital.com, a global investment company that is becoming local. They've recently set up their offices here in Dubai, which means they are locally regulated and offer local banking solutions. If you are new to investing, you can check out Capital.com's website and browse through all their learning material. And if you are a seasoned investor, you can benefit from the news and analysis to make informed decisions. So check out Capital.com, that's Capital.com, and start trading today. Hi everyone, and welcome to Conversations with Lulu. Before we start the show, I have an ask of you. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you are subscribed to wherever you are listening to this podcast, or if you are watching it on YouTube. It would really help in getting the show discovered, and it would really help us in our growth. So I thank you in advance for hitting that subscribe button. My guest for today is Mazen Kanaan, the co-founder and CEO of House of Pops, the colorful popsicles that you see all over the UAE. Mazen, a veteran at Unilever, decided to launch House of Pops back in 2018 with his then girlfriend and now wife, Marcela Sancho. Today, the company employs 95 people, and you can see their products all over in kiosks across Dubai and supermarkets, and you can even see them on Emirates Airlines business class. So House of Pops was also on Shark Tank Dubai, and we're going to be talking about that experience. This is going to be a fantastic discussion about leaving the corporate world and getting started, putting a lot of investment into your startup and what you believe in, going all in, starting up, bootstrapping, putting the right processes, building a brand, and of course the Shark Tank experience. There's a lot of insights in this episode. I highly, highly recommend it. So Mazen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for hosting me.
I'm so happy we're doing this. We met face-to-face recently in Saudi Arabia. Do you remember? At the Endeavor event, and we got the chance to talk about your business.
Yes.
And I got the chance to realize how much you've built and how much you've done out of ice cream, which I think there'll be a lot of interesting insights that come out of this for our audience.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to share some insights. It was good that we met there in Saudi. It was the first time we meet face to face. So looking forward to share some stories about my journey.
What's your favorite House of Pops flavor?
I love mango with strawberry.
Mango and strawberry together?
Mango with strawberry pieces. It's part of the Royal range.
Okay.
Number 1, it tastes really good. Number 2, it's one of the most profitable products we have. So I'm trying to drive the margin up.
You're trying to push it? Okay. I like the galactic lime.
Yes, with blue
How do you come
spirulina.
up with the galactic lime? I mean, it's It's such a cool looking color, by the way.
صح. And a lot of people ask us, I mean, you always pretend it's all, or you say it's all natural. And how come this blue color?
Yeah.
And this is blue spirulina. It comes
yeah.
from the algae, from the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, the nature has a lot of natural colors that you can use without using any special artificial coloring. So yeah, and especially it works well with the kids because the kids shop by color.
Yeah.
And usually they like sweet colors. A sweet taste, but when they see the blue, they point, I want the blue one, and they enjoy the sour taste. So
That's true.
It is very successful.
My daughter likes it as well. She's 7, so yeah. So let's go back to the early days. So maybe take us through your journey. What made you decide to leave the corporate world? I think this is the terrifying bit that people usually have to think 100 times before they take such a step. So what kind of drove you to that decision?
And initially I started working with Unilever. I had one job since I graduated. So I spent around 13 years with Unilever, starting in Saudi Arabia. And then I moved to Turkey. I worked 3 years on the ice cream business, and I came back to Dubai, and I was handling the ice cream for Middle East and North Africa.
What's ice cream in Unilever? What brands?
They have Magnum, Cornetto, Cardar, Twister, Calippo, all the Walls range.
So the Walls range,
Yes.
Okay.
So I was managing it here in Dubai. And for 3 years I was working on that. And
13?
3 years in Dubai, 3 years in Istanbul.
Okay.
But my total experience with Unilever was 13 years.
13 years, okay.
And then at the end of my third year, two things happened. One external, which was there was an overall trend for health and wellness product, and you can see it everywhere.
What year was that?
That was 2017, at the end of 2017.
Okay.
So when we used to go for a market visit, I used to see a lot of those keto cookies, protein bars. But once you go into the ice cream, where I was handling the range, you look into the freezer, it's full of high-fat, high-sugar products. So there is an opportunity, I thought, in health and wellness in the ice cream. So that was one thing. And another thing internally, there has been some complication in my career.
Okay, what happened?
So actually, it would be good to put it in a way for whoever is now struggling in their corporate career, because there has been a lot of layoff and a lot of people leaving their jobs.
I think restructuring is the corporate life's curse, right?
Yes.
They always have these restructurings where people are thrown in limbo and you don't know what's going on. So is that what happened?
Yeah, so maybe I'll share a bit the story. Hopefully it could be kind of inspiration to whoever is struggling there. I was doing really well in Unilever. I was put in a program to become the next director in terms of career progression. And then change of management happened, and a new management came. And then the new management did not see that I could drive the ice cream business.
Okay.
And it happened in a funny way, where I was copied by mistake on an email.
What? They said that you're not good enough to drive the business?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the email, it read, so imagine I'm sitting on my desk. And
on
I see
a
this
nice
email.
day.
Yeah, exactly. It was March. I remember 2nd, 3rd of March, something like this.
Okay.
And an email pops up, and in the bottom of an email, I see a message from a senior manager to another more senior manager saying, Mazen is not fit to drive the ice cream business.
Wow.
And we need to find something different for him.
And did they say why?
No, just like, I want someone who's able to manage the operations, etc. There was not really much of an explanation.
Okay.
But it's just that, Mazen is not fit to drive the business. So at that time, I felt that, okay, I don't think I have much time left there. Although I was doing well. Of course, in the corporate world, there are different views. I'm not here to dig the past. But the idea was that, there was this view. And then...
So you thought you were doing really well.
Yes.
And then you see this email just one day by mistake. You're copied on the email.
Yes.
Okay. And then what did you think when you saw that email?
I felt, no, خلاص, my career is done. Because, there's so much you can fight. And changing the overall view overnight is not going to be something feasible. And in the way it was written, it was clear that, the decision is made. It's just about phasing it out. So then,
So what did you confront it?
No, I did not confront it. But I kept doing whatever I'm supposed to do, because I knew that there is one way for me to leave if I was delivering my target. I was delivering like my target. And that is through maybe doing a restructuring, making the job redundant, etc. And it would help me if that happened. So I stayed there. And after 6 months, they told me, you know what, we are making this position redundant.
So it took 6 months.
6 months after that
of them strategizing.
Yes. And it was a terrible 6 months. I felt a lot of pressure. I started running in order to keep my mind okay, telling myself, this is just happening in one context. It's not about you. You need to keep your self-esteem high.
And the whole 6 months you didn't bring it up?
No, it was clear, and they knew because when the email, they knew that I saw that email.
Oh, okay.
But the overall system was not supportive. Like there were a lot of people trying to push me push me out, let's say, of the system, irrespective of the details. But the core idea is that I was in an environment that was pushing me out of it, but I wanted to keep going until I get a closure that makes sense for me. And then in September 2017, they said, okay, we're making this redundant. And then I worked for 13 years with them. So all the financial benefits that I got out of it, and with this redundancy, I took it. And then we opened the ice cream factory in Al-Quwain, and the journey started from there. So the idea is that sometimes you might be in really not a great place, and you might think that you are really worth nothing. But then it turned out that could be an opportunity for something greater. And if this did not happen, and if the change of management did not happen, and if those people who were trying to push me out were nice to me, I would still now be doing presentations, preparing the market visit for the VP to please him and to manage politics inside. So I'm really grateful for every single one of those 3-4 people that made my life bad. Thank you. This is for you.
It's funny, I had Jihad Eat on the podcast.
Yes, I watched.
He says, like, when we did the prep call before the podcast, him and I, the first thing he told me is like, I have my termination letter framed in my office. He's like, it was the best thing that's happened to me, and it's true. Like for me as well, I got made redundant back in 2008. And I look back at it and say that was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, because I would have never become an entrepreneur if I had stayed in the job.
Yeah, I still have also this email.
Yeah,
that I got. Yes, I kept it, of course, and it's a source of inspiration for me. Putting aside everything else, like I'm not stuck in the past.
Yeah,
but it's very important, I think, to use those kind of things as a drive, because as an entrepreneur, there's so many things bringing you down.
Yeah.
And you need every single thing to take it as a drive and turn it. So this email, Anna, it always gives me the power that, you know what, go, fight, win.
Yeah.
It was
so how did
important.
you rewire your brain? I mean, did you, you were married at the time?
No, I was dating my wife.
Okay. So how did you rewire? You got probably a big lump sum of money. Why did you decide to put all that money into the new business? Why did you invest it? Why didn't you say, okay, I need another job? So what was the thinking?
Okay, so that's a good question. I think every entrepreneur who's going on something like this needs a level of foolishness to start something. If I would go and start putting, if I want to establish a business, and I scream the capex that I need, the operation, the team, I would not have landed here. But I was young. I'm still hopefully, but at that time I was maybe around, 33, 34. I had a budget and I did not have any commitments in life. I was not married. I did not have kids. And I always wanted to do something. Even like I tried at some point where I found a difference between like a watch that I buy on Amazon in the States and ship it here, and what's being sold as unopened gift on Dubizzle, you could make 200 dirham. So this price differences. So I tried different things that are just like, but then when this ice cream thing happened, I thought, you know what, this is really a good one. So I threw myself all in an educated way. So I read this book From Zero to One, and it was very inspiring. So I did not really put everything I have there, but I was taking incremental steps. And the more I got good feedback from the market, from the operations, we can talk about it, Yani. I was reinvesting. But the point is that I did not have any fear. I said, okay, what will happen? If I fail, I can get another job. I have a good career. I was confident about my skills. But that's an opportunity. And it happened at a time where I'm not young with no experience, and I don't have a lot of responsibility. It happened at the perfect time where I have enough experience in something I know and I have money. So I said, let me do it.
So obviously you know the ice cream business. So tell us about the ice cream business. Where did you see the opportunity? Why did you obviously decide to continue investing in ice cream?
Yeah, because
like how big was the ice cream business? I mean, how big is ice cream?
So ice cream in GCC is around $900 million business in the GCC. All right, around 1 billion. And when I looked at some data, it shows that the health and wellness portion of the savory snacks is 16%. Out of the total savory
so
snack.
Savory meaning like chips? Like,
the protein puffs, the cookies, for example, with the keto, etc.
Okay, so it was
16% of the category was health and wellness.
Okay.
But when you go to the ice cream, there was 0%. All right. In the States, because you can see it in different geography, it was 19% for the ice cream and 16% for the snacks. So that told me that there is a demand, but the issue is in the supply. And this is where I said, okay, you know what? This is something I can do. So there is a gap in the market because you need to start with something. You cannot just, follow your gut feeling. So that was quantitatively what presented.
So you knew it's $1 billion market in the GCC. There's 0% in health and category.
Yes.
This could potentially be 19%. And if it has to be on par with whatever's happening around the world,
it's something I know to do. I know how to do. I've been doing for 6 years in the best company.
But maybe you're not very good at driving ice cream business.
I'm very good. I am very good. Good one. But yeah, no, I said, and by the way,
I am very good. I like that.
Hey, everything I learned is coming from Unilever, where I had maybe a bad experience with some people. But Anna, I am very clear. Every single thing I know in business is coming from Unilever. I spent 13 years, and the 6 years in Saudi were like 12 years by themselves. I was working 16, 17 hours a day. I had nothing. I was 21, 22 years old. I was fully driven to learn, and there's very little at that time entertainment in Saudi. So I did really well. I attribute all success that I have in terms of the technical knowledge and skills to whatever I learned in Unilever. So that's very important. I have nothing but great thoughts of Unilever.
They will buy you out maybe one day.
Of course, man. I'm preparing the pitch from now.
Okay, so the market trends are in your favor. We live in the hottest place on earth. There is a big health and wellness trend. Quantitatively, you were able to size up the opportunity, your TAM. You had the money from Unilever. So how did you start? Like what did you do first?
But I'll tell you what will happen. So we went to Al Quwain, all right? They had a very good frame to start a business, all right? Especially industrial. So we opened, we rented a warehouse, 100 square meter. We opened the license.
Who's we? You and your wife?
Me and my wife.
Girlfriend at
that time.
Okay.
It costed us around $10,000, everything.
How did the discussion happen with her? I mean...
It's just like impulsive.
Did she say, let's do an ice cream business? I mean, how did
the idea came from me?
Yeah.
But she...
I mean, you were in the business, obviously.
Yes, exactly. But she's very driven like me. Like, yeah, okay, let's do it. She's from Costa Rica. She's like bubbly in her attitude, and she's highly driven. So you have
two bubbly people.
Yes, exactly. Ice cream. Yalla, let's do ice cream. Let's do ice cream. She has done culinary studies in Cordon Bleu in France. So she started doing some tests. We have... started at home with like some few tests, and he said, you know what, it tastes good. Before we went and rented this, and part of checking the hypothesis, I remember I knew a contact in Atlantis, all right? Mm-hmm. So we went to them with Marcela, and we presented as we already have the ice cream. We said, we have health and wellness ice cream. We have opened the factory. Are you interested? Just to test, we talked to a couple of hotels. And they said, yes, please send us. And he sent an email. We told them we are shifting now factories and it will take us some time. We did not have anything, but we're just trying to check the hypothesis in the market. Yeah. So once we were confident, okay, no, there could be something also from a customer B2B perspective, we went. And then I remember the first CapEx we spent to get machinery from China was not more than $3,000-$4,000.
Wow.
Yeah. We got a machine where we could freeze, and then a machine to unfreeze and release the pops, and one manual packaging machine.
Okay.
Okay, they costed around $1,500 from China and $1,500 to ship them.
it.
And then when we wanted to put them in the warehouse, it was too big, 100 square meter. But you know, when you enter a warehouse, there is a small room on the right side where there will be the office. So we said it's covered, so let's put it there. So we started there actually. And this is how we started. And then we started by trial and error. Okay, putting a bit more strawberry, a bit more mango, a bit agave, etc. And we have finalized around 15 flavors. And then in September 2018, we went to the Ripe Market, a farmer's market here in Dubai. And that was the first time we sold. And this is how it started.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so what else did you think about in terms of processes, in terms of, I mean, I also saw you send me a company presentation recently. So I saw you have a very high caliber team. They're all ex FMCGs and so on.
Yes.
So how did you start thinking about those early days? Like, what was your go-to-market plan? Maybe if you can share some of those details. I mean, obviously you were spending from your pocket as well. So
yes. So initially, when we started, I really did not have a clear confidence that we are going to reach wherever we are now. So we started selling once a week. But there was okay, people were enjoying, they were paying the price. We discussed a lot if we want to sell it at 15 or at 20 dirhams, for example. And we agreed to, Marcela was pushing for 20 dirham because also that was another challenge. We did not have any benchmark. At that time, Magnum was a premium, the ice cream was at 8. So I said, okay, how much you can charge over? And I thought 15 is already double. And they said, no, people would be willing to pay 20. So I followed her advice and it worked. We sold 20 and 25. But that was a big challenge. At that time. So we started doing those once a week. And then people...
So this is at the Ripe Market. Every week you take your ice cream?
Yes, in a bike.
Yeah.
We like to call it, we started with a small bike and a big dream.
Okay.
That's our slogan. Once a week. So the first month we did 10,000 dirham. We said, wow, that's amazing, you know. And then people were asking us to come and do catering in their places. So we'd go with the cart, with the bike. And then we said, okay, after 3 months, we can go online. So we started with Deliveroo and orders started coming. And we were the first to offer what we call now the happiness box, 10 pieces. Our average order was around 130 dirhams, which is very high compared to the average e-commerce order on food, which is around 70, 80 dirhams. So this worked well. And then we started taking part of the events, like the beach canteen, the yoga festivals. And that was a great way to advertise the brand without spending on advertising. You would need to spend to recruit people, etc. For us, no, it was us being present in those events.
So you were going personally?
Yes, it was me and Marcela. We go on the weekend. We'll wake up 4 or 5 in the morning, prepare the things, go. I got a small trailer that I attached to my truck. And then Marcela was driving the van from Al Quwain to Dubai to deliver the stock. So there was a lot of things happening as any entrepreneur. But things were growing. So we started doing different channels. And then after 2 years, we said, you know what, let's try to open shops in kiosks outside. So we started in Kite Beach with one. And then COVID hit, all right? And that was a bit of a setback for us. We said, okay, everything's going to stop. But the online orders grew 15 times.
Wow.
And it was a blessing for us. At that time, we have grown tripled the business or something like this. And then we were worried that people would start getting out because we were making a lot of money from there. That, I think, was a major key milestone.
COVID?
In COVID. Because I wanted to take the brand also outdoor, not only online. So we had this one kiosk that shut down in Kite because of COVID. But I said, you know what? It was very difficult for us to enter in JBR, Kite, etc. Those high La Mer, City Walk. But then in COVID, all the shops have closed. So I contracted new locations in June, July, where everyone was getting out. I thought, you know what? That's a great opportunity for me to contract in those main locations. So then we rented locations in JBR, in Kite Beach again, in City Walk, hoping that people will come out and come out of their homes after COVID ends. And this proved to be very effective, where we were able to get access to those important locations. And then, then it was 4 locations. Then the next year they were 13. And now we are around 17, going to 20 locations.
So these are like permanent
yes,
locations.
permanent. But yeah, this is where you join some risk taking with an opportunity that comes where everyone was getting out of outdoor locations and we were contracting to go in. So that proved well. Now, fast forward 5 years, we are around 90 people working in the company. We operate into 6 different channels, our own shops. We sell to hotels, restaurants, cafes. We do e-commerce. We recently started supermarkets, distribution. We do events and catering, and we deliver to schools as well.
And how were you able to attract talent to the company? I mean, why would someone leave a Unilever or a Kraft or whatever to come and work with you? What's the pitch?
So I think after COVID, I felt that there was a bit of a change of perception of the big corporation and the corporate world, because people started looking more at brands, values, the environment in the company. All those came, I think, there were after the COVID phase. So then, for example, our marketing manager comes from Nestle. All right, she's very young, 28, 29 years old, and I was thinking how it's interesting how she would consider joining House of Pops, where when I was 28, Unilever was everything for me. But there was a shift in the...
Especially when you work in those companies, those top companies, it's very difficult to get someone to leave.
So there were 2 things, I think. One is that the brand represents values that people like to work for, natural, ethical, sustainable, etc. And also so we started this recruitment 2 years ago. So after 3 years of operation, I thought, okay, there is a good potential. Now I need to double down on the business. And we started paying good salaries. So we don't go very cheap.
But you can't pay the Nestle salary?
No, we pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we pay.
So everyone who's listening.
But that's not, especially for the key positions, we invested well to get the right people. And I'm very proud of the fact that the people who are working with us today can handle 10 times the volume that we are doing. So this is an investment for the future. So it took a hit on our profitability in the short term, but if I am always in the view of invest for growth, because sometimes there will be a big growth opportunity that will come, and if you cannot absorb it, it will you will not be able to deliver, and it will have a bad reputation for your company. So I like to invest for growth if I have the mean for that.
What were some of some key things that you learned at Unilever that you implement in your business, or how you do business today?
A lot, especially in the ice cream, driving impulse. Driving impulse. This is so I have written a bit a part of our franchise, because we start franchising as well and in expansion. The journey to impulse. How to attract people 10 meters away. How to attract them at 5 meters. How to talk to them when they are directly in front of the cart. All those are very well thought of, every single thing.
Driving impulse.
Like you will see our 3 popsicles at the eye level of the kids. You would see on our carts 100% natural, etc. at the eye level of the parents. So joining I want this with the parents seeing that it is natural and all of those. It's quite simple, but it is very well thought of. 70% is coming from Unilever, and we also added our own thing. But this is very important. Building a brand. Because Anna, I think our strength is not really in the popsicle itself. Yes, this is the reason to believe. This is the core of what we're selling. But we are building a brand. And Unilever has always said that we don't sell products, we sell experiences. And this really influenced our choices. We went with a very high-end advertising and branding agency to do all our branding. Anyone in the same level of our brand would not pay more than 20% of whatever we are paying for that. But all those are big bets that I'm doing, influenced by Unilever way of doing business.
Okay, and in terms of processes?
In terms of,
operations, how you run the business?
Yeah. We have SOPs written for each channel, how to run the business, especially for franchise. We have 120 pages for whoever is taking the franchise for us. From the moment he says he opened the shop till the closing. So we invest in software for CRM. We use HubSpot to really manage the leads and engage with them. We use software to monitor the assets. At any point of time, you can see on the map where our freezers are, when was the last time it was serviced. We invested in accounting software. We use Oracle. So we have done a lot of the basics in order to have an organization that can scale easily.
So you own the company fully, you and Marcela?
Together, yes.
So you funded all of this from the business?
Yes, from my own savings and also from the business, because the business was generating profits also until last year, where we decided to double down and start investing in people.
So tell us about, the whole fundraising. Do you think about going out and raising money today? Obviously, you were on Shark Tank, so maybe you can also, maybe we could start with that experience actually, and like what got you into it. And
I got contacted by the Shark Tank team that was preparing for the episodes. I thought that would be a good opportunity to go and present my business there.
Yeah.
And we got an offer from Eli, and we're very excited about it. Unfortunately,
you're cutting down a lot of the story. Come on, give us a bit more. Like, how was the experience? You had to pitch in Arabic.
I'm very comfortable with Arabic, by the way. Right, so that was not something, and it was nice because I came on a bike, and I threw a very good show.
Yeah.
And there also because I said that we need to ask for a considerable amount of money.
Yeah.
We asked for 10 million dirhams for 3% of the company.
Yeah, because I know. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that, but it's so interesting because I know a few other people, by the way, that were part of this Shark Tank season, the first season. And they were told that basically you this is not a big investment. Like, you're not gonna get don't ask for anything above 1 million dirhams or 2 million. Yes. Actually, 1 million dirhams, I think. Yeah. So the whole prep to them was like, okay, you're probably gonna get like a small check. I don't know, whatever. $100,000, $200,000, whatever it is, but don't go crazy with your ask and so on. So everybody, because if you came to me for some recommendations on the pitch, so they were all prepared for a small, a million dirhams, something like that. And then I was watching your pitch, and then here you are. Not only do you ask for 10 million dirhams, but for 3%.
Yes.
You're valuing the company at 300 million dirhams.
Yes.
So tell me about that strategy, because that was really thought of. Thought through.
No, it was not like, let me just, go and just throw numbers. We have done, and I believe in every single thing I've done there. It was not just a show. Yeah. We have plans and we're going to reach there.
Yeah.
Now, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, this is where I think the discussion can be.
Yeah.
Everything I said there is coming from a very detailed exercise, bottom up. We're going to reach there. Now, when we had the same thing, they told me this is too much, because I thought, okay, I have another.
So you told them before the show that this is what you're gonna ask, because they saw your ask.
Yes, not
the producers.
The producers.
Yeah.
They told me it's up to you. But then I thought I had two options. I thought either I will go with, let's say, 1 million or 2 million for 0.8%, or 10 million for 3%, let's say. And then I thought, I might come as that they can make me look very bad when you ask 0.5%, 0.6%. But if I ask 10 million for 3%, I look, confident, solid.
Yeah.
So I liked myself more in the scenario for the same valuation.
You did look confident and very solid, by the way. Like your pitch was very good.
And why not? So I said, I don't want to be the person who's asking for 0.6%.
Yeah.
I want the person who's asking for 10 million for 3%. So I went and I said, and it was a calculation. And this is how much it will add. And this is how much it would be. And I got offers from 3.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is that Eli's offer was considerably low compared to any others. Because there was, I think, 16.
No, it wasn't low. It was the best offer.
Yeah, I'm saying percentage.
So you anchored at 3%, which like my first reaction when I was watching it is, this guy is nuts. So basically you're saying my company today, again, when you're in the tech world and the VC world and the tech startup thing, you see those numbers. So you were saying my company today, 300 million dirhams. So that's like $80 million, right?
On a sales of 6 million with zero EBITDA. Okay, so that was the figures that I have.
So but I mean, again, you're coming and saying my company is worth $80 million. It was very interesting, you know.
Yeah, also I kept.
But then you defended it so well, like you.
No, I kept a room also for negotiation. But I was very confident because the sales that we are doing, are coming from one format, the stick, which does not represent more than 20% of the category, because the scooping, the gelato represent the biggest part. 80% coming from one city, Dubai. All right? And we have a huge potential to grow in formats, in different cities, in different countries. And so I am fully confident we're going to reach there. On top of that, the way you present, and this is something I like, you know. So I did my homework, I was clear about the numbers, and I put it. So he gave, I'm saying the lowest percentage as at 10 compared to 15 and 16 or something like this, 14 and 16.
So he had the best offer.
And then at that time I said, okay.
Plus Eli is, I mean, he's a known businessman.
Exactly. It's a great fit for us. He's also into like arts, etc. And there is a lot of synergy that can work. So I just focused on Eli. And then we shook hands
and then the haggling happened. Exactly. 10, 9, 3, 4.
It was
whatever.
Interesting because he told me two offers: either 10 million for 8% or 11 million for 9%. And I told them, can someone just do the calculation? Because it's very difficult to see what valuation is higher. They said, you need to make a call. So I said, you know what, let me be on the safe side and go with 8%.
And you spoke to your wife? Were you pretending to say something?
No,
or were
I was
you
telling her, like, listen, this is the thing. And she said, So we agreed on everything. Okay. And then we shook hands and we were very excited.
You were very excited.
Yes, I was very excited because definitely.
They filmed you after the pitch. You were like, we're going to go.
And I said maybe some other words that they cut, because in the burst of fire, like, I'm going to rock the world. No, I was very happy. Okay. And then we went into further discussion. And there are at that time some additional aspects of the deal that were put on the table that I think could have been mentioned on the show, so that I can, take into consideration the ask. But for some reason they were not. Maybe they thought about it later. Maybe, I don't know. It's everyone. It was in any case a non-binding offer. Okay. But then when we looked a bit more details, we went into 3, 4, 5 rounds of discussions, and then we decided not to take the offer because it was not as simple as it was put. There were additional aspects to that. But I have still high respect for the guy. I think they negotiated in good faith. I would have preferred, because whatever was mentioned later could have easily be mentioned on the show without making it complicated. It would be good if he would have mentioned this directly on the show. Maybe I could have continued the discussion with someone else, but then I just focused with him. But overall, we are very happy. It gave us a good exposure. The money we needed was to overdrive the growth, but not to move forward. We're not looking backward now. We're very excited about the next phase.
Okay, so maybe a couple of learnings here for people that are considering going on Shark Tank, because I know they're filming now for season 2. So it's interesting actually that you say that, because I was also asked to be a judge on another show called Biban. So it's not a commitment.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, it does look like a commitment, but it's not. I mean, so and as your experience proves, it could fall apart after. And again, like we say in the startup world and in the business world, the devil's in the details, right? Of course. And that's the thing that you learn, is that someone can say something, but then when that offer comes and you look at the details, then
true.
Then you see things that maybe it might not work. So interesting. So you and I were having a quick discussion before we started filming this, and maybe we can touch on that, because I'm very interested in in investing. Obviously, I invest in tech startups quite a lot over the past 5 years, and I was asking you, like, what's, as an owner, as a non-tech founder, as somebody who hasn't been exposed to that, Y Combinator, 500 Global, the Accelerator, Antler I had also recently, kind of mindset like I need to go and raise funding and dilution is part of the game because you're building a big company. How do you think about that, the money side of things as an owner of House of Pops?
I don't think at the core there is a big difference between what I'm doing and the funding compared to a VC. The only difference is that my business can generate this funding. So then the same thing, the VC would, or the a tech company would say, you know what, now I need money to grow. So I need money to grow. But then when I have money generated by the business, I use it. All right. So at the core, everyone needs money to grow. The decision is at what time would this money that, at least this is how I view it. At what time would this money that's coming can deliver value more than just waiting organically to get funding, to get the business generating funds. Or I can get from the bank, by the way, because I also have my business generate a lot of sales through POS machine. And this turned out to be a great security for the bank. So we get at very low interest rate a good amount of funding. So I've been using that,
which is a much cheaper way to grow your business than
interest rate
equity.
Fixed, I think, of around 5-6%.
Okay,
and they give a good amount. So then, Anna, for me, the way I look at it is that anything that can help me save 2-3 years of time in order to consider an opportunity, yes, I would take funding for that. But if a funding that would save me 6 months, no,
so
I
if someone comes
wait.
and tells you, here's, I don't know, $500,000, you'd say?
$500,000 would not move the needle. And that was also a part of the Shark Tank. Like now, $500,000, it would not move the needle. So let's say 3-4 million, yes, then I can do things that I would not be able to do. And it also depends on where I'm standing in the development of the business. Because, for example, now we are just launching in Saudi Arabia. We got just the license to operate there. So there is a wide space that in 6-8 months, I can, with my own assets, I can create a lot of value. And then therefore, this can increase my valuation considerably. So maybe now might not be the best time to raise funds. If I wait maybe 6 months and I get this value in, then I will be looking for funding to go to the next level. So this is how I see what's the level of the development of my business and this additional funding, what it can unlock. And also the investor, can he unlock doors? Like, for example, if someone comes maybe with $500,000, but he told me I can get you into Walmart or Costco. No, then I would take this because I'm not able to, even if I wait 6 months or if I have $3 million from the bank, I would not be able to unlock the US market. So we look also at added value, definitely.
So for now, the plan is regional. So where are you going next?
So the first priority is GCC. And the first priority in GCC is Saudi Arabia. Already we have a distribution and franchise agreement in Bahrain. Since 1 week, we are on the shelf in the supermarkets in Bahrain. We have finalized a franchise and distribution agreement in Kuwait as well. And in Saudi, we are building another organization similar to UAE. There is a huge opportunity there, from catering to events. They are doing like Hayat Tarfih, Entertainment Authority. They are doing massive things. And we were part of the Saudi Food Show. And we got a lot of interest from PIF companies that are building amusement parks.
Nice.
Al Qudiyya. There is a lot of opportunity. Even from Riyadh Air, we have discussed with them. So our focus is on Saudi. This will keep us busy for the coming 2-3 years at least. Meanwhile, what we do what we call seeding activities in Europe. So we are going to be displaying in Sial in Paris. Sial is like Gulf food, but for Europe. That's the biggest show, like Anuga and Sial. We are going there to test the market. So by the time we are ready to enter, we don't start from scratch. We understand what works there, the pricing, the feedback. This is how we define.
So you are good at building an ice cream business.
Of course, of course. And we are diversifying also the formats.
Yeah.
So we are launching the bites, we are launching cups and pints, scooping. There is a lot of innovation.
Why scooping
also.
though? I mean, if you have the stick, why would you go for the scooping? You said the bigger opportunity is in scooping.
Yes, because for example, in Saudi Arabia, socially, it might not be as acceptable to lick a lollipop on the street outdoor.
Okay.
Maybe they would prefer, for example, a scoop. In the supermarkets, people buy more cups and pints than they buy popsicles. So we are entering there. We're entering with new innovative formats called bites as well, launching next month.
Which you also had on Emirates.
Yes, it was served on
Business class.
Emirates business class, exactly. So there's a lot of exciting opportunity.
Nice.
But it's very important to phase it and not to stretch ourselves too thin.
Yeah.
And consistency is key.
By the way, I like your go-to-market approach because I was familiar with the brand and through the kiosks and so on, and then I see it in the supermarket. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting it. It's interesting because you had built the brand before you were in the supermarket.
Yes, you talk about Unilever. This is a great learning from Unilever. I was managing Lipton in Saudi Arabia, Lipton tea, the brand, and Lipton started in the hot tea shops before it entered in the supermarkets.
Interesting.
It's very important to build the brand in the moment of consumption before getting into the supermarkets where the brand is just spread between 100 different without being able to communicate.
So interesting.
So, and this is where a lot of people make the mistake of directly rushing to the supermarket. We stayed 4 years building the brand outside before coming in the supermarkets. And this helped us also negotiate better rates. No one makes any money in the top end in the hypermarkets because it's very expensive to service. We make good money there, all right? Because we have built the brand and then we started by generating interest from the trades to have our product.
What does that mean?
Like, for example, Carrefour called us and told us, are you interested to list?
Okay.
This rarely happens.
Okay.
You go, you beg them, please help us, give me a chance. But yeah, this is how once you build a brand, I don't pretend that I have built a brand, like that.
You have a very good brand.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say just to put things, it's not like, but we have built something good enough for the trade to say, you know what, yes, this could work.
There's another brand which is very similar to your brand. How does that make you feel? I mean, for me, it's confusing sometimes.
Of course,
and we discussed this in Saudi at length, you and I.
Yes.
So how do you work on that? And actually, maybe we should talk about that because you told me a story in Saudi. Remember, you said that somebody took your brand also and
here in UAE. Yeah. So I'll tell you, those are two different stories. One is competition.
Yes.
All right. I like competition. They push us to really get the best out of the brand and out of us. For competitors, I don't treat this brand as a competitor because House of Pops is super sharp in terms of brand character. We are only selling natural products, natural ingredients, sustainable ingredients. Other competitors have the idea of, you know what, there are customers who want something natural and something, let's say, full of sugar. So we'll offer them everything and they choose. And for me is not really a great call because a brand is like a person. It has a character. Either you are funny or you are smart or you are fast or you are slow. If you offer everything to everyone, then you fall for everything. So I'm happy that they have a bigger offering than us. I don't mind. Now, we have some instances where we see copying the branding, etc., or some elements. As long as people copy us, it's a great shape to be in. When we start feeling we need to copy them, then this is the question mark. So I'm good from that part. Now, the other part, yes, we had a partner, unbelievable. He took a franchise from us, House of Pops. He shut down for 1 week. We checked what's happening. He did not answer. Then he opened Mom and Pops. And it was, and he has nothing to do with this business. Yes, another business on the side.
Which is an ice cream shop.
Ice cream shop, the same, popsicles, everything. He just rebranded everything like Mom and Pops. Now we have a case against him. But it's interesting. Like you find, instead of the ecosystem coming supporting those young entrepreneurs, let's take this idea. But it's fine. As long as people are copying us, it's great. The moment we feel that we are running after someone, then this will be a question mark.
By the way, I've heard several stories like this. This is not the first time I'm hearing this. I met a very interesting lady over the weekend. She was telling me the same thing. Like, so franchising, there's that risk, especially in, countries around the region here where maybe the laws aren't as strong. Why do you want to do franchising? Like, why not? I mean, I had Jihad, for example.
Yes.
Like, Jihad's super, adamant on him kind of owning all the brand and all the experience and so on. And franchising, yes, okay, it helps you expand quickly, but it also could erode your brand. And I mean, there's challenges to that. So
yeah, you need to look at each case. In our case, we deliver the product packed. So there is absolutely no way that they can have a strawberry which is a bit more sour or not.
Oh, they won't manufacture.
No.
So all right.
Which is great for them and for us.
So it's a sales channel.
It's a sales channel.
All right.
But
okay.
there is a franchise fee, there is royalty, there is they buy the products from us. So it's a very profitable business for us and fully controlled. Okay. And from their side, they don't need a chef. They don't need anything. They can open.
Whatever,
2 people can deliver like a lot of sales just by serving, because all you need to do is to open and serve, smile, and be able to explain one A4 paper of information.
So it's not like you give them the ingredients and they have to manufacture.
Maybe later in Europe somewhere, but at least in the GCC, we have full control of that. So it's a perfect program for us.
So you're going to have manufacturing everywhere?
No, we ship to Bahrain.
Ship from here?
We ship to Kuwait. We ship to Saudi.
Is that sustainable?
Yes. Because also we are not selling a product at 1 dirham and 1.5 dirham.
No, is that sustainable environmentally? I mean, you're very big on
that definitely.
You're very big on sustainability.
Good. I like those kind of challenges. We are exploring now shipment in electric vehicles. There are electric chillers that can do the transportation. It's not yet there. But yeah, those are things we can do.
What would be nice?
But I think even manufacturing there would be more environmentally impactful than building in one manufacturing unit here.
I mean, look,
transportation.
It's always been kind of like a dream I have. I mean, first of all, I love money. Like a business that has a manufacturing component to me, I think is very, very interesting, very exciting. Like to be able to go in a manufacturing plant and see how things are built and so on. But I think there's a great, if sustainability is an important thing for you, I think there's a great angle in building these plants locally, but also employing the local population. There's this very interesting case study, I'm sure maybe you know it, from this guy who built the Shobani brand, the yogurt. So how you employ basically the local population and the engaged local communities and so on.
Let me comment on this. In Saudi, the way we are entering, we got MISA, the Ministry of Investment, very excited about our plans. Because why? In Saudi, we are considering having a manufacturing, all right? Because of the scale. And then the way I pitch to them is that once we are in Saudi, we will get the mango from Jizan. We'll get the dates from Qasim. We'll get the watermelon locally. So we'll be involved in the ecosystem. We'll buy from the farmers. And this is something amazing. Even they have a big coffee plantation that Aramco is supporting. So we are going to buy this. Plus, each kiosk that we open is going to employ on average 2.5 people. So we are having
2.5?
2.5.
Okay.
FTEs. This is how we...
2.5?
The 2.5. He passes every 3 days. No, because of covering the days
half
off.
is on the kids' eye level.
You're getting the journey to impulse thing. So yeah, we are going to be really involved in this. Also, there is a way that we create micro entrepreneurship opportunities, where this is a program where you can, local Saudi guy who's like 22, can go and invest in a bike. And this bike would not cost more than 6,000-7,000 dirham or riyals. And he can buy the ice cream from us and stand somewhere on the corniche and sell and make a living. So we are also going to get in touch with the Ministry of Human Resources or Employment there and expose those things. So we have a lot that we can do also in the ecosystem beyond just selling ice cream and natural ice cream.
How do you prioritize? I mean, you have a lot that you want to do. There's a lot that you can do. But how do you maintain the focus? I mean, it takes a lot of determination, to be able to say no to things or not yet or so on. What do you focus on today?
We always say that the challenge in our business is not what we are going to do, is what we are not going to do.
Yeah.
Because if we sit here, we'll come up with 10,000 ideas.
Yeah.
But we will focus on the big ones, and the same way, like the formats, the scooping has been an opportunity since day one. 5 years now, and we are still on the stick because we choose the battles and we saturate the citadels, as we used to call them.
Saturate the sea levels?
Citadels.
The citadels?
Citadels.
Okay, what does that mean?
This is like you go and you make the maximum out of it. Like when we are going to lunch in Saudi, we're not going to have Jeddah and Riyadh and Dammam. We're going to Riyadh and we're going to saturate Riyadh across all channels. It will optimize your supply chain, etc. and things. And also in the format. We take one format and we saturate it. So we have defined opportunities and we are clear. Saudi, now after 5 years, the extension into bites and gelato is going to be key. We chose. There are things in Moshi, for example. Okay, it is an opportunity. We're not going to do it. We are very single-minded. And this is where you get a good team around you and you invest in getting the best. They have been exposed to those prioritization project, the way of thinking. Then we are all in the same vision, driving the key priorities. This is extremely important for us.
Amazing. I think a lot of people are going to reach out to you after this conversation. Really, I mean, again, your pitch on Shark Tank was amazing. The way you rationalized the business is amazing. The brand is great, tastes great as well, most importantly. So, okay, let's wrap maybe with a few... maybe some advice to entrepreneurs on potentially like finding the right partners. I mean, you work with your wife now, so how does that work?
We can leave it to another podcast. Yeah, there is a lot to say.
There's 3 hours on that.
No, I think
it's the best thing, honestly.
Yeah, there is a lot of good things and there are challenges, of course.
Give me a challenge?
Challenge?
Yeah. If you fight and you hate each other, then the business is...
No, it's not like that. It's like double hatting, because at the same time, it's not like we've been together for 10 years and we started doing a business.
Okay.
We were dating.
Okay.
And in the business, there will be challenges. There will be people taking decisions. Who's the boss here? Who's the boss at home? How does it happen? If something happened there, you can not just don't bring it back home. It also took a toll on our ability to enjoy life in Dubai. For the first 2-3 years, we were basically like just doing most of the things. We did not travel. And this is at the same time where you need to nurture the relationship. So it was definitely challenging. But on the other side, there is this reward of, so we are getting our first kid in mid of August. We are thinking about the second kid, after we have built House of Pops. There is a sense of achievement. There is, we are proud of what we have done. And there is someone that you can relate to and talk to and open up. It's really good, but there is also challenges on managing, the conflicts at work, different views. But the more we grow in the company, the more we have splitted roles and it's becoming easier. Yeah. So I'm the CEO and I'm responsible for the management and the development of the business. She's responsible for the production and the factory and the product innovation. So that makes it... but also in the company, we don't have this idea that this is the owner. We vote. We go into the board meeting. We call a board meeting, the senior managers that you have. Every month we go, there is an agenda, like many things I wanted to do. I'll give you a simple example. At some point, because we were a bit squeezed, I said, we want to start working on Saturday, guys, because we want to get the most out of the FTEs that we have. And they voted no, and we did not come on Saturday. So okay. I would, but they said, no, this is something important for us. And we can do a lot of other things. Maybe we can work on priorities, etc. So this is the culture in the company. There's not like the boss and the miss and the ma'am, and no, we just like overruled.
So you think about culture?
Oh, big time. And we had like few recent examples of people joining, and we get them out after 1-2 months because they could not fit in the culture. Much more important than skills, because we have something really precious. And one bad choice can really drive it out. And I think we reached a place where people automatically, they feel they don't belong to that. We don't want politics there. We work all as one team. We have defined standards of leadership for the company. So we talk about the leader should be able to drive growth, accountability and responsibility, think customer and consumer first, building talents and team. And one of the most important one is kindness as a standard of leadership. Maybe I'm scoring the lowest because I need some time.
On kindness?
On kindness, no, but this is extremely important. I believe Because in my previous experience, I was not a kind person. I was a very harsh. I thought that aggressiveness can drive things. When people ask me what are the mistakes that you have done in your current business, they are very few because I have done shit tons in my previous 13 years. So I learned a lot from there. And kindness, I think, having this inspirational way of getting people together is extremely important. And people who are not kind don't have a place to work with us. So very keen
making
on
decisions by consensus is also it's also unique in a way, right? Especially it's your business at the end of the day.
No.
So you're the boss.
Yeah, I'm the boss, but I don't think that I always have the best view.
Yeah.
Because at the end, when you have your own business, your ego means nothing. I have developed I fed my ego for 10 years previously. Now I want decisions that help the business grow.
Yes.
So I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want someone who can help me drive the business. So that's why this creates a culture where whoever has the best idea, great. Because at the end, if I say, yes, this is my idea and I don't have money at the end of the month, it's not great.
Yeah.
So this is a bit the culture.
When you have like self-doubts or things like that, I mean, have there been moments in the journey, 5 years now, that you thought this is not going to work, we're going to shut down, or have there been moments like that, or it's been...
No. Frankly, no. Maybe I am over positive, whatever, but we were not in a place where we said, no, things are going to go south. The only thing is that we always have pressure on cash flow. Yeah. And we operate somewhere on very thin line. But I'm always positive that things are happening. And so as long as we don't see a drop in the offtake in the brand, an issue in the brand, everything else is manageable.
How do you measure offtake in the brand?
So we do growth in like-to-like stores. Like JBR, how much he sold last year, how much he sold this year. Irrespective, sometimes you might lose an account. But if we see online we are dropping, people are not ordering anymore. So this is worrying. We do also brand studies to understand how we score on brand attributes. Like, is a healthy brand? Is a brand that's good for me? The awareness. We are sitting at 34% awareness compared to Magnum at 55%, which is brilliant. We did not spend one penny. So imagine now with additional funding if we spend on advertising. So this is where, when I see the qualitative and the quantitative figures are good, if I have some maybe challenge on cash flow because I have just spent or put an investment for something that's going to generate future cash, I am okay. The moment I see issues in the brand, this is where I would be worried. But so far, we are in a good shape.
Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna wrap with some rapid fire questions. So just give me a quick answer, and I think we'll wrap it off. So, what brings you joy?
Success.
What makes you upset?
When I could have taken a better decision.
Something you love about people?
Their impulse.
Okay. Gut feeling? Something you'd love to do but you haven't done yet?
Traveling in South America for 2 months.
In Costa Rica?
Costa Rica going south.
Okay. What do you do to de-stress?
I play paddle tennis.
What's your favorite book?
0 to 1.
0 to 1. What's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
I put Fairuz.
Really?
I like to listen to Fairuz.
In the morning?
Yes. It soothes me.
Interesting.
After kissing Marcela, of course,
Okay, so kissing Marcela and Fairuz, not the phone.
Not the phone.
Well, great. If you had to tell yourself something every morning, what would it be?
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Well, that was awesome, Mazen. Really, I congratulations on all the achievements you've done. Again, great brand, great story. I wish you all the success, and hopefully whoever is listening now would be inspired by your story to maybe do something. And also, if people have money that they want to invest, I think they should definitely get in touch with you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I think also you're doing a great job, and hopefully, we continue this success journey together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Conversations with Lulu with Mazen Kanaan. I hope you found it insightful. As usual, don't forget to check out conversationswithlulu.com to listen to all the other episodes. Make sure you are subscribed wherever you are listening to this episode or watching it, especially if you are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or YouTube. It really helps in getting the show discovered, and it really helps us in our growth. And you can take a moment if you are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to leave us a rating and write a review. I personally read those reviews and they're extremely encouraging and helpful. So I thank you in advance. I hope you are enjoying your summer and I'll see you in a few weeks.